Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm a professional dog trainer, and today I'm going to show you how I taught this adorable puppy to lie down. Ahsoka is a 9-week-old Malamute puppy, and I taught her how to sit yesterday. In this video, we're going to cover 2 different methods for teaching your dog to lie down, which one I recommend trying first, how to troubleshoot any difficulties that you might have during training, and how to prevent the biggest mistake that I often see people make when they're using lure training. For this training today, you're going to need a comfortable surface for your dog to work on, tiny, high-value training treats, and both a loaded marker word and a previously taught sit cue. I'm going to link tutorials for both of those down below. As previously mentioned, in this video I'm going to cover 2 different methods for teaching your dog to lie down. However, I do recommend trying lure training first. With lure training, you're going to be holding the treat right in front of your dog's nose to guide them into position. With distractible puppies, this is a very good thing because it tends to hold their attention a little bit longer. With lure training, you're going to want to think of the treat and your dog's nose as magnets. They need to be close together in order for this to work. Lure training is often a much faster way of teaching new skills. However, if you don't phase out that lure fast enough, your dog can learn to check if you have the goods before offering that behavior. We do not want that. Eventually, we want all these skills to be on a verbal cue only. I'm going to show you how to properly use lure training so that this is not a problem. To use the lure method to teach your dog to lie down, have your dog sit while you kneel in front of them. Have a treat between your thumb and finger like so. Make sure that they notice the treat by putting it close to their nose. Once they've noticed it, slowly bring the treat straight down to the floor and then outwards. Your dog's nose should follow it. As soon as your dog lies down with their elbows touching the floor, mark yes and give them that treat. The first time you try this, your dog is probably going to move very slowly. That's normal. With time and practice, they'll get faster and faster. I want you to repeat this until you're reasonably confident that your dog is going to quickly follow that lure into the down position. If this is not working for you and your dog is not following that treat into a down position, let's troubleshoot a few reasons why that might be happening. The most likely issue is that the treat you're using isn't high value enough to your dog. The higher the value, the higher the motivation to work. In general, dogs like treats that are smelly, soft, and meaty. If you need help finding your dog's favorite treat, I'm going to link a video for that down below. If you're confident that the treat you're using is high value to your dog, pay attention to how close you have it to your dog's nose. Remember, for lure training to work, we need to think of the dog's nose and treat as magnets. They need to be close together in order for this to work. I also recommend making sure that you're training far enough away from meal times that your dog has a bit of an appetite. The other issue that you might be having is that your dog will follow the treat, but they won't completely lie down. If that's happening, I recommend trying something called a knee bridge. You're going to give your dog a target to lie underneath, therefore it makes it more likely that they'll fully lie down. If you've made sure that you're using high value treats, you're luring in the shape of an L, and you've tried the knee bridge and none of those are working, stay tuned afterwards because I'm going to show you an entirely different method that you can try with your dog. But first, let's finish lure training. Once your dog is about 80% successful in following that lure, I want you to add a verbal cue to it. So this time, you're going to say down as you lure them. We want them to start associating that cue with the action. So as previously mentioned, if you use a treat lure for too long, your dog can learn to always check to see if you have the goods before offering that behavior. We don't want that. Our goal is to be able to give the verbal cue and have our dog complete the action without having treats in our hand. So now it's time to phase out that lure. Once you've completed a few repetitions combining the treat lure and the verbal cue, I want you to phase out that treat lure. So this time you're going to say down and use an empty hand to motion your dog into position. Repeat this while slowly making your hand signal less and less obvious until your dog can successfully lie down with just the verbal cue only.
Yep.
Congratulations, you've taught your dog how to lie down. If you're enjoying this video, I would really appreciate a comment or like letting me know. If the lure method was not working for you, there's another method called capturing that I recommend you try. So we can use capture training to encourage a dog to do anything that they naturally do anyways. Things like sitting, lying down, barking, yawning, all of these can be put on cue. So rather than using a treat to lure the dog into position, we're going to wait for them to naturally do that thing on their own. When they do, you mark and reward it. Anything that you reward or reinforce is more likely to be repeated. So what you should find is that by offering a reward for a behavior they were going to do anyways, they start to offer that more frequently. Down. Yes. When your dog starts to lie down more frequently, I want you to add the verbal cue down right when they were about to do it. By saying the verbal cue as they're about to lie down anyways, you're starting to pair that action and the verbal cue. Make sure that you mark and reward them after they've completed the down. Down, yes. You can test whether capture training worked by saying the verbal cue down at a moment when your dog was not just about to do it anyhow. Yep. If they lie down when you ask, you know that they've built the association between the cue and the action. Please let me know in the comments if this training worked for you or if you have any questions. Happy training!